And welcome again to Mallorca, welcome again to the Best Centre. Today is the 15th of July and we're counting down the days to the World Championships. After the news, we have an opportunity to talk to one of Britain's top athletes, Aimee Willmott. We found out her secrets and how she's getting ready for the World Championships. We also get a chance to talk to her coach, Lisa Bates, one of the top swimming coaches in Great Britain at the moment. That's all coming up after the news. In Best Centre news, the Millfield crew have been here in force ahead of the Nationals, with star swimmer James Guy in preparation for the Worlds. Alongside them has been Aimee Willmott from the London Aquatic Centre squad and coach Lisa Bates. Their interview is coming up next. And just arrived at the elite group from Marseille, led by Olympic champion Flo Manodou. We're very excited to see the group back here and watch them train. We'll have more from them next week. One of their number, Melanie Hennick, was involved in a homophobic attack outside a restaurant in Amiens in the north of France recently, which follows the news of the attack on Marco Loughran and Jeanette Otterson last month. Also next week, we're looking forward to the arrival of the Dutch national team heading to Kazan and a return to the Best Centre of Femke Heemskerk and Inge Dekker. And the family swim holidays are underway. We have nearly 500 people with us this year over 7 separate holidays, so if you haven't done so already, come on and join us. Elsewhere, in Gwangju in South Korea, the World University Games has just finished, and the USA were the top team, unsurprisingly. But the big surprise was that the USA won neither the men's or the women's 4x1 medley teams on the final day of competition. There was some outstanding swimming though, including a tie for gold in the men's 200 medley, and a number of swims ranking in the top 5 in the world, none better than Russian Evgeny Koptylov, swimming the second fastest 200 fly in the world this year. Well, that race created a lot of talk, not just because of Koptylov's time, but because of the way the race was swum from the man who finished second, Japan's Yuya Yajima, who swims around 14 strokes per length, when the rest of the field are taking over 20. Well, just as the breaststrokers have maximised the glide on the 200s without a loss of overall speed, it seems as though the same is starting to happen in the fly. And now, on the pool deck, we have a chance to talk with Aimee Willmott and Lisa Bates, who tell us about their time here and their preparation for Kazan.
This week at the Best Centre is kind of sort of one of the last hard weeks before taper for the World Championships. So it's been a lot of hard work in the sunshine, obviously it makes it a little bit easier.
Amy's on a power week, so I'm expecting her to swim pretty quick, under intensity, and then obviously recover quite well in order to do a couple of those types of sessions a week, just to sharpen up really before she goes to the holding camp on the 22nd. I think leaving your swimmer with a coach, that somebody else other than yourself leading into a major championships, I think you prepare the swimmer for that all year round anyway. Our relationship very much works on an educational basis. So if anything, I lead Aimee into, you know, the direction that her training program is going, so she fully understands what's required of her. Moving forward onto that, I obviously liaise with any of the coaches, and it's a good working relationship between all of the GB coaches, so it's pretty successful, and she's managed before, so I'm really confident and happy to do that.
Yeah, obviously it is kind of nice to have your home coach when you're away, but obviously we have no choice in the coaches that are selected, so sometimes obviously a lot of swimmers won't have their home coach there, so I'll kind of be in the same position as them. So obviously it is just kind of working with the coach that you've been put with, so I'll be with Joel Finnick on that camp, and obviously throughout the meet, so I've kind of worked with him a little bit, and kind of now I know how he works and he knows how I work, so fingers crossed everything should go really smoothly. But there's always those things that kind of get you fired and get you going, that your home coach probably knows best. So I do normally speak to Lisa after the warm-up, but probably once I've kind of spoke to the coach that I'm with and worked through the warm-up, and then literally it's just before I race, kind of get into race mode with a little tip from obviously Lisa. I'm really excited about Kazan, I think. Obviously this year it's been my second World Championships, and last time I finished 9th when it was in Barcelona. So I'm really looking forward to getting out there this year and hopefully making a final. And obviously with having the 200 fly there as well, kind of digging my teeth in and seeing what I can come away with that. So I'm really looking forward to a strong year racing, and hopefully I'll finish off well, kind of with things looking good for Rio. You kind of look at the rankings, but obviously you never kind of underestimate anyone that's going to be just behind you or just in front of you. And I think on the day of the major meet of the year, you can't really predict who's going to win and come 1, 2, 3. So I think making it into the final at Worlds is the first step, and then it's kind of anyone's medals from there really. So obviously the rankings kind of all year, you're looking to be up there with the best in the world, so you're not underestimated yourself. But on the day, I guess it's anyone's swim, and just got to get in there and see what I can do.
Obviously we've got a long-term plan for Aimee, which leads into being on a podium in Rio. So if anything, we're just looking to build on last year, moving forwards, ready for next year as well. So all year we've been rehearsing race processes, race practices, ready to come up against some of the best in the world and see where that contends her. I think you only have to look at it as a good thing really, because it's great whenever those two girls come together head to head. You never know what the outcome's going to be, and this year especially we've used Hannah and Hannah's race plan in order to develop our own and practice new different race skills. For instance, if you look at trials, Aimee swam trials completely different to how she's ever swam it before. So all the time we're progressing forwards using the people around us, and the fact that we've got somebody in the same nation as us, which is just a step ahead of us, is even more of an incentive.
Yeah, obviously everything that Lisa kind of said is about right. Obviously having the best swimmer, one of the best swimmers in the world, for a while now, the whole nation kind of spurred me on. And when I was swimming 4:37, 4:38, and Hannah was swimming 4:33s, 4:32s, it was always try and get as close to Hannah as possible, and doing that, making my ranking higher in the world. So having her there to race all the time and kind of get my teeth stuck into when I race is obviously only going to be a positive.
So my coaching career actually started in Hull when I just left university. That was quite short-lived under an age group programme because I got scouted for the University of Bath, where I coached the age group and youth programme. So swimmers such as Siobhan Marie O'Connor and Rachel Williams were under my programme for a number of years before I felt ready to take on a head coach's role, which is when I believe we first met when I moved to Thurrock. I soon began to recognise that my aspirations for high performance were bigger than what that swimming club could offer. So therefore I moved to Middlesbrough, where I had the benefit of obviously coaching Aimee and instantly formed a working relationship with her in order to believe what I think created the ultimate success for the pair of us. So what I've learnt across the way, I would probably say my biggest learning curve has been be patient and understand that people are individuals, and you form a relationship and treat an individual differently, every individual differently, in order to form success.
It's kind of, obviously when I was a lot younger, I was kind of got in the pool and was flogged up and down by obviously an old man that was kind of set in his ways, and he kind of got me into swimming, and then obviously I kind of developed and grew, and Lisa probably came to Middlesbrough just at the right time, as I was kind of feeling a bit down about swimming and kind of needed that little pick me up, and as soon as Lisa moved we kind of got on really well, and that year I took off 3 seconds sort of in 6 months off my 400 IM time. So there was obviously something between us that was kind of what I'd been looking for, and everything just seemed to click straight away. So as we kind of worked over the years at Middlesbrough, obviously everything kind of developed, and I was keeping personal best in and doing PB. So it was kind of, well, when Lisa got the job in London, it was, well, do I obviously stay with something that's working? So it seemed daft to kind of stay where I was and just to be at home, while I could move to obviously London and have obviously the pool and Lisa and the lifestyle kind of all in one. I guess London 2012 was probably the biggest highlight for me in my career so far, just from the way I felt when I walked out, and there were so many people there from obviously Britain kind of wishing me on and wishing me luck, and that was kind of the first step and the first kind of taste that I got really of what it's like to be in the Olympics, and it was obviously kind of spurred me on now, knowing that I just really want to get on the podium and do something for myself and also the country. Yeah, training in the London 2012 pool is obviously something a little bit special. When Lisa was offered the job in September, it was kind of a little bit difficult to begin with, to kind of let it all sink in, moving away and kind of leaving my family. But when I'm there every day, it's kind of, well, I'm at the best pool in the world and in one of the best facilities, so I guess I can't really complain when I see the pool at 6 a.m.
It's truly inspirational. Every time you walk over that bridge into the Olympic Park, it just automatically lifts you. It really is phenomenal, and we have everything on site that the athletes need. It's really turning into a great high performance and development centre. It's really exciting.
Well, we hope you enjoyed it. We'll look forward to your company next week. See you then.